What's going on, guys? This is Sean of Raw Select Music. Today I want to talk about this record right here. This is DJM Trio Cave Art 2, released on Paxco Records in 2018. This was an album that I didn't really know anything about, other than it was selling out pretty quickly on Jet Set Records, where I pick up most of my vinyl in Japan. And based sort of on that, and then digging a little bit deeper and finding out that it is basically a jazz covers album of a lot of modern tracks, I figured I should check it out and give it a listen for myself. And now that I've given it a listen, I'll let you know whether or not I think it's worth checking out. So with that out of the way, let's talk about this guy. So doing a little bit of research about who DJM Trio are. Apparently it's led by Dominic James Marshall, who's an Amsterdam native, and apparently a current member of the Cinematic Orchestra. That's pretty interesting. I didn't know that. And apparently this is a sequel to Cave Art, which is an album that came out on his Bandcamp. Maybe there's an LP release for it. I didn't look that far into it. And the first thing that really grabbed my attention about this record were just some of the cover tracks on here. Having a whole variety of different artists being covered, like Zapp and Roger, Solange, Jay Dilla, Pat Russian, MF Doom, and even The Legend of Zelda. That's a pretty wide spectrum of different types of music being covered on here. So based on that alone, it really got me curious as to what the music would sound like on here. And lo and behold, they didn't disappoint. This is actually one of my favorite records of this year. I love the covers on here. And it seems like I've been listening to nothing but jazz records this year. This is easily one of my favorite jazz records that I've heard all year. And I love the playfulness of this. The keyboardist, which is Dominic J. Marshall. I love his incorporation of sort of like 8-bit synth sounds into all these covers, as well as some classic Rhodes and other classic keyboard sounds, on top of the excellent bass and drum playing on this record. Every song on this album is done justice. From the immediately recognizable sounds of Pat Russian's Love Me Nots and Zapp and Roger's Computer Love, to Jay Dilla's Won't Do, and I gotta say, two of my favorites on here are the covers of MF Doom's Con Queso and Mad Villaini's Bistro, which is that fantastic little interlude on Madlib and MF Doom's classic Mad Villainy. All the songs on here that I knew were covered to perfection, but there are also a ton of songs on here that I didn't really know. I'm not that familiar with Solange. I'm not really that familiar with 1-2 or Dark Twain, and despite the fact that I am a big Legend of Zelda fan, I never played through The Wind Waker. And even without having any knowledge of the original source material for the covers on this album, you can still get a lot of enjoyment from it. It's a really playful, fun record to listen to. Like I said, I really like Dominic's keyboard playing on here. There's some really jazzy flourishes when there needs to be, but there's some concentration on really nailing the hook and the chorus to make these tracks fun, as well as just some of the voicings and sort of lead takes, especially on the track Won't Do by Jay Dilla off of his Shining LP for BBE Records. I really like the original of that, and I really like the cover. And overall, they really do manage to create a sound for themselves. It really feels like the work of a very musically proficient band, and I just like all the covers on here. I would say that maybe some of the tracks are just a little bit too short. One that really stands out is the Maybe Beautiful 1-2 track, which is just so gorgeous that I wish it was a little bit longer. But overall, if you're looking for some hip-hop infused electronic music, infused electronic jazz music, I really can't recommend DJM Trio enough. And if you're a big fan of covers like I am, I really can't recommend this album enough. It's funky, it's fun, it's creative, it's jazzy, and it's just one of the most enjoyable records of 2018. So that's gonna be it for me today, guys. Thanks as always for watching. If you've checked this record out, let me know what you thought about it down in the comments. If you want to hear this record for yourself, head over to my WordPress or Steam It blogs, because that's where I post music links so you can check it out for yourself. As always, head over to my Mixcloud page so you can also check out Raw Select Radio, which is the audio component of this whole Raw Select music thing. And that's going to be it for me today. Thanks as always for checking me out, and I will catch you guys in the next video. So until then, peace out!